Hey there, my name is LaTrasha Bostic, and I am a real estate broker here in the state of Georgia as well as in Alabama, and I also hold a mortgage license here in the state of Georgia. So I have been off of YouTube for quite some time. No, let me just say, not off YouTube, but not creating my content. And that is the one thing that I want to get back on being consistent with. Not that I was ever consistent with it, but I am choosing to be intentional about posting on YouTube. So I want you all to help hold me accountable. And they say things like you shouldn't tell what your goals are. You shouldn't say it out loud. But I am truly one that have been in this entrepreneur space for some time, believe in that when you share what your goals are, whether they are huge or not, and they should be huge, that it puts you out there and people need to hold you accountable. So I'm going to let you all know that my goal going into the new year is to post once a week. Okay, that should be 52 videos, right? 52. So let's just talk about where I've been here lately. I did move this year, and I don't know, there was a video that I created that I did some time ago talking about what I wanted to do. As you all know, I am a real estate broker, and I was renting, and I have been renting since I sold my home back in March of 2020. And so I had been renting all that time, had gotten approved for a mortgage, and I got I got beat out of that race back in, I think it was 21 or 22. And yeah, because 23 sent me kind of in a state of depression, and yeah, things just went down. So I'm back up. Back up. We have our ways, but this year I said that I was going to purchase a home. And so I'm going to share with y'all what happened and where I am now. So my lease ended. My lease was set to end on April 21st of this year of 2025, because I only signed like a 10-month lease because, let me just back up. So, when I sold my house, I went renting, and I went in a little apartment. And at the time in 2020, January 2020 to be exact, the rent was only like $1,000. I had a 2-bedroom. It was 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. Yeah. It was an older apartment. I did not like it, but I made the best of it, right? I made the best of it. It was like I left the Beverly Hills and I went to the hood, right? And I know, don't take offense, I grew up in the hood, but that's where I felt, right? And so with that, I stayed there, and I put myself, because if I'm going to be very transparent with you, as an entrepreneur, we have our highs and our lows. And I struggled with paying where I stay. Not that I had the mortgage with someone else, and that was why I ended up having to sell, because it was a team effort. It wasn't, again, on my own. So I had to sell, but I made sure that mortgage was never late, never late. And so when I went to my own apartment, I said, I don't care what, as I paid that and helped pay that mortgage, I am going to make sure that I don't fail on myself. And that's what I did. So I stayed there. I signed, I think it was a 12-month lease or whatever have you. But by the time it was set to renew, the rates had went up. Actually, I did like a 10-month, and then I got ready to sign another 10-month, and the rates was just ridiculous. And so there was this place, these apartments that I happened to go into one day. Me and my sister was just driving around, and I said, let's go and see what this is. I was always interested. You know how when you're just driving and you just say, let me go and see what this is about. So we went over there, and it was like, wow, I didn't know about this place. I think I'm shaking my camera. But anyway, am I shaking? Okay. And so we went into this place, and I said, man, if I move, I would like to move over here. Again, not having a clue what the rents were or anything. And so was on app, and I met someone. We were already friends. We were in a business together. And so anyway, long story short, he invited me over because he was doing some work that I wanted some help with. And so I said, yeah, you are where I want to be. And when I went over there, I ended up touring a few of the apartments, and I said, don't get mad. I said, but I want to be over here in these apartments. And so I immediately filled out that application because my lease was coming up, to expire. And I got the apartment, no problem, because again, I had been taking care of my credit. And so I went and moved over there. I went from paying $1,000 a month to they were trying to charge me $1,700 at the apartment where I was paying $1,000. So it went from like $1,000 to like $1,700. So then I went over there paying $1,900. So, and then I was down to 1 bedroom, but location is everything in real estate. Even when you're renting, location is everything. And so it was a active lifestyle type community, and it was, I would get out and I would walk and run, and we had retail. And so it was all the things, right? And so I didn't mind paying it. And it really kind of gave me an upper echelon type feel, right? And so I lived there. I enjoyed living there. And I lived there for 2 years, or maybe it was a year. No, it was 2 years because I renewed, and I was mad when I renewed because I started, the market got a little tough, and I was having issues paying, but I always paid within those 30 days. I never went outside 30 days. However, that apartment complex, because of who they were, and I won't name any names, they said that if you're late 2 or 3 times, they automatically would not renew your lease. So I already knew they were not going to renew my lease, and that was fine. So the second go around, I didn't try to renew the lease. I decided, you know what? And this is when I said, okay, I got to get out of my own way. Business is back up. I've got to go ahead and buy a home. And I don't know, for those that don't know, it is a little bit more challenging when you're self-employed to purchase real estate. And that's why I tell people when folks say, I want to do my own thing. And I'm like, that's great, but get the home first if that's what you want. Since you're W-2, it's a lot easier when it comes to providing documentation, things like that, because self-employed people like myself, transparent, I make a lot of money, but I don't always do what I'm supposed to do with my taxes. And shame on me. Shame on me. Be better than me, all right? Just be better. So there was like literally these apartments I was living in right here. There was a bridge that connected some other apartments, and I went over there, and they had one bedroom for $1,400 because my rent went from $1,900 to $2,100, and literally I walked across the bridge and got an apartment, 1 bedroom for $1,400. I was like, you know what? They were older apartments, but this particular apartment unit had been renovated really nice, and it was really clean. So I said, okay. And so I went and got that apartment. And I said, I'm only signing a 10-month lease because I am going to go and buy me a house. And so I share with you all, so I said all that to bring us here to today, is that I said in 2025, I'm going to buy a house. And so I had listed old client's home. She and I have done several deals together. And actually, she's an agent. She has a real estate license, and I hold her real estate license. But anywho, we had a property listed, and it was a really nice home. However, the people that were in it, her family, they were not taking care of it. And so I just didn't understand why this house wasn't selling. We had reduced it a couple of times. And then when I really got the feedback, and I was like, okay, I got to go really put my eyes in on it, because I know when we came to the home for picture day, we had to move some things around because, again, they were still living in the home and just wasn't, tidying the place up. So anyway, I was like, wow, yeah, I see why now we're getting the feedback that we're getting. So anyway, I remember talking to her one day, and I said, what are we going to do with this property? I said, and she said, I'm going to get them out of there. And she did. She had them to move. And so we got somebody over to clean it up. And still, it just wasn't happening. And so she called me one day and she said, Trasha, just put the house on Section 8. And I was like, dang. And she was like, yeah, she has some choice words. And I said, listen, I said, I'm looking for a house this year. I said, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be quite ready like right now. I said, but I would buy it from you if we can come up with a decent price on it, right? And so she said, you gonna buy it? And I said, yeah. And she said, okay, well, send me an offer. So we did the, back and forth because, again, I'm like, all right, let me see what we can do. And so I told her, I said, okay, we worked something out. And I just said, okay, I'm going to do a lease in it for up to a year and then, buy it. And so, guys, that's where I'm at. I'm in the home. And I must say that when I tell you, it's like all the stars have been aligning. All the stars have been aligning. I got into this home and I have truly treated it like it's mine already because it is. It's mine. And so there were some things that she had to take care of, but for the most part that I've taken on because as a homeowner, it's totally different than being in an apartment, correct? In an apartment, you call the maintenance people, tell them, hey, the sink is clogged up. We need you to come fix it. Or the hot water heater's not working. Or it done blew like in one of the apartments I had. Hot water heater caused a fire, whatever. So I've been here. My sister, who's also here with me, her lease was ending. And so she was in near this, closer to this area than I was. I was up north. And this is down south. So it's just like, okay. And so we moved in together and it was the best thing. So I say that to say I'm not crazy about rentals. I'm not crazy about leases, but it made sense for me. Because I see a lot of people, and I guess too, I've been in that space a little bit thinking, I don't know if I'm going to buy this house. I think maybe I'll just go buy a new house. But then as I'm here and as I walk around, I've gotten a little comfortable. No, I've gotten comfortable. And I don't feel like moving again. I'm 52 years old and I have moved way too many times in my lifetime. And I am just tired of moving. And so I'm here at the house. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-4-bath home. It's a ranch home with a room and a bathroom upstairs. And that's kind of like the space my sister occupies. It's kind of like her own little apartment, I must say. So it's working out just fine. We're backed up to some woods and a cul-de-sac. And we have, there's a sunroom, enclosed sunroom with the glass doors. And although we felt like we could be out there all the year, we was hot as heck out there in the summer and it's cold as all out in the winter. But, we have our heaters and installed a ceiling fan, things like that. So I am at that point where it is now time for me. And is my thing going on? Okay. I was listening to a podcast. And I saw that it was still going. And I'm like, I got to go back because I didn't finish listening to the podcast. But anyway, I'm here. We're here. And now in a position, I have another thing. So that was one of the big things that happened. We moved here in May. So my lease was up April 21st, but the apartment complex allowed me to go to the end so I could just take my time getting this house ready and packing there. And so we moved here like towards the end of April, definitely the 1st of May, and been here ever since. And it has truly, we met neighbors and we just, settled in already, right? And so now I'm getting ready to make this purchase. And so that's the one big thing that happened this year for me. And the other thing is that I'm really out of debt minus the IRS. I hope they're not watching. And if you work for the IRS. And people keep telling me, stop worrying about that, Trasha, stop worrying about that. But it's one of those things like, if I didn't have that, like I would be so zero debt free, right? But consumer debts, I have none. No student loans, no car notes. Thank God. No credit cards. Now I did have to get, and it's crazy, you have to get a little credit in order to keep your scores up. My scores are almost at 700. Kudos. I'm so excited about that. But no consumer debt, no collections, any of that. And so I'm excited about that. That's like the second big thing that has happened. I did not hit top producer this year in real estate, and that is you have to meet certain metrics. Now, I did meet it if you count Alabama and Georgia work together, definitely. But as far as the metrics for the state of Georgia, I didn't. I missed it, and I missed it big time. But it's okay because I say this: if you sold any properties this year, 2025, you are a top producer. Because there's a lot of people that went out of the business. A lot of people went back to work, and I get it. I just been in this space so long. I just know how to get through it, right? And so it has really made a difference. Me not having the debts that I've had over the years, it truly has made the difference in where I stand with this business right now. So that has really that's really helped the situation. And so what is the mailman? So I'm trying to think what else happened this year. We had our very first family reunion this year. Not very first, but the first one in 35 years. We held that here in Atlanta, my birthday weekend, the first weekend of August, and it turned out really well, so much so that we're going to do our next one in 2027. We're not doing it every year as I would like to, but we're doing it every 2 years, and the next in 2027 is going to be in Destin, Florida, so we're getting ready for that. Me and a few other family members were on the board. I think it was like 5 of us, but anyway. That was another thing because y'all know family is important. I know a lot of people going through it, and just to get everybody together for the reunion was soul. That did something to my soul. The other thing is back in July, when I moved here in May, I have friends already in the area, and my friends are my past clients. I've sold homes to, and we've just been friends. They live in the area, so. Monica, we started meeting up, and she invited me to start walking with them, and I joined Girl Trek, and that's GIRLTREK, and started meeting up and walking. And so in July, I set a goal to walk 5 miles, a minimum of 5 miles a day. And you already know, I killed it. One day, I think I stayed out there and did 25,000 steps. I can't even tell you how many miles that is. I have to go back and look, but I started walking, and although I was having some issues with my right foot that I injured some time ago and had to go to therapy for that, and had to go and get some shoes and all of that, walking has changed the game for me. I look forward to walking, and it has given me time with God in the morning and just getting up softer, I say, because I stop getting up by the alarm clock because it's like, this is the whole thing about being an entrepreneur, being self-employed, is having that ability to be able to just kind of wake up on your own time. So I started doing that in July and have continued doing it. Now, I will say this disclaimer, I don't get up every day now to do it, but I get up more, maybe 4 times out of the week as opposed to doing it every day. But I truly enjoyed, have met some awesome people in that space, and did a hike the other week with some older ladies, some elders, and I was the youngest one in that group, and had a really good time, and I can't wait to our next time to go hiking. And I did a hike with me and my sister and her son, Zachary, and if you're into that, his channel is Mr. Uncut with 2 T's Outdoors, Mr. Uncut Outdoors, here on YouTube. We did some hiking over in Alabama this year, and we spent the night. That was, that was an experience. And so, other than that, no love life. My kids are doing well. No grandkids, no marriages. Nothing other than that. It's just been truly blessed. And moving forward, I'm learning to stop giving of myself and stop people pleasing. And so that is the other thing that I have been working on, and start doing things for that satisfy me. My mom did have some health scares this year, and thank God she's still doing well. And that took me out for a minute. And I think that also too started putting things in perspective about how precious life is and timing and everything. And so that being an entrepreneur has allowed me to take time out and spend time with her, be there for appointments and procedures and things like that, and not worry about it. I still have my transaction coordinator, who is my right hand, Tasha Huff, still work with me. Us work together, and so I'm forever grateful and thankful for her. And so other than that, it's been a fantastic year. Could we have done some things better? Yeah. Could I have stayed consistent on some things? Yes. But I tell you, this has been a great year. Overall, I give thanks to God for getting us through it. And I mean, I know we're not through it all the way yet. People delivering some things outside, but it has truly, it's been good. So I hope I brought everybody. I hope you all are up to speed now. And so the next thing I'm working on, how crazy is it that I went through property and casualty insurance, got my license, and then let them go. So I've always wanted this one-stop shop, right, where people can come to me and we can talk about what it takes to get them ready and go through the mortgage process with them, as well as have them find a home, secure their insurance. I am part owner of a title company as well, and do a one-stop shop with me, right? So I am in the process of going back to take my exam for property and casualty again. And if you say, well, what is property and casualty? When you get homeowners insurance, car insurance, things of that nature, it's property and casualty. So I'm working to get that back because I'm older. I'm no longer in that space of hustle culture. I want to do things totally different. And I just want to, like this phrase is going around, live the soft life. And I can't do it just strictly on real estate. I want to incorporate things like insurance, mortgages, title company in with real estate, because they all is something that we use anyway. So I want to be able to incorporate that. And that was always my goal with real estate, is to become a one-stop shop. And so now that it's coming into fruition and I'm able to do that. So that is why I am starting to pull it all together. I guess I wasn't quite ready when I had the license, because I had them and did absolutely nothing with them. And then when I had my mortgage license, I think I only did 2 loans, and this time I'm making it work. And I'm so excited for myself and my clients that I'm able to offer that to them, because, you know, sometimes when I would send people to a mortgage lender or whatever, I wouldn't hear back from them. And so it just makes sense to keep everybody close to me, right? That, you know, that want to be, that would like to be that way. It's not, mandatory that in order for you to work with me, you got to go and get your loan through me. I would love it, but if not, I understand it. I'll continue to work with you. But I just want to be able to add additional streams of income so I can be able to, keep working and not stress when real estate deals fall through or, things happen, because things will happen, right? So that is all of what has happened with me for 2025. I hope that if you are a new watcher, that you consider liking and subscribing to watch my videos. And so this is the other thing. Oh my gosh, before I let you all go. So I got with this YouTube person called Mommy Trader, because I love dipping and dabbing in stocks, and so she does a lot of tracking. And so I've been watching her for some time, and then I just took the plunge and went ahead and signed up for her course and got her planner. And so that's the other thing that I am going to be doing, is investing next year in 2026 on a consistent basis, because like I said, I dipped and dabbed in, and I bought stocks, sold stocks, bought stocks. And there's one stock I don't even care to share with you all, that I couldn't sell it if I wanted to, because I have so much money vested and it is so down. Oh my God. We'll talk about that one day, but right now I don't, because I try not to talk about it. But I want to learn how to be consistent, and I want to learn more about investments. And, y'all see what's going on in our world. We gotta, the ones that don't get involved will get left behind. So that is something that I am looking forward to, as well as being debt free, continuing my debt free, not going out and, doing the things, buying the things. Oh, the other thing that I did was, if you all see this stuff back here, is that I started my hobby doing t-shirts, and that has been fun for me. And I've made some money off that and helped some people. Just that's been fun. But I don't want to make a real business out of it, because it will not allow me to be able to travel and things like that. Oh my gosh. I keep thinking about everything that's happened and trying to put it all in one video. But that won't allow me to be able to do the things that I want to do. And I have scheduled and paid for trips in 2026. One big one is going to Thailand. Me and my sister in August for 13 days. And so that one is planned. Actually, we're going to get ready to go on a 7-day cruise with some people we don't even really know. In January, someone that I met in the walking space who said something about, I was talking about, I want to start going back on vacations in January. And she said, you want to come with me? We are celebrating my birthday. And I was just like, yeah, we were looking for a cruise to go on. So that's how that happened. So looking forward to that, and meeting some new people and just getting away, because I need to be in the sun. I love being in the sun. So that is happening. And Trisha and I have another trip that is just me and her. And I think that one is at the end of April, coming back in right at the top of May. So that is planned. And then there's another trip that's in the works. But that is the other thing that I'm excited about for 2026. And just, again, being grateful and thankful for all the big things, grateful and thankful for all the little things. But just basking in God's glory, because without him, I'm nothing. Without him, I couldn't accomplish anything. So I am just forever grateful and thankful that he has not taken his hand off me. And because I have not always been the perfect person, not that he expects us to be perfect, but you get it. Not done things right, and follow what I was told to do. And so I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. And I always say grateful and thankful, because the G comes before the T, but grateful and thankful for it all. So that's all that I have to share. And again, I want to become more consistent doing my videos on YouTube. And as y'all all can see, I'm still going through this whole menopause thing. And that is, I just blew over the little stand. But I got this little thing. I was at a relative's house over the summertime, and I was sitting out in the heat, and I was sweating, and this lady had one of these, and I was just like, she said, you can use it. I was like, yeah, let me see it. And I immediately bought one, because the coolest little thing. But anyway, I know y'all don't care about that. But anyway, thank y'all so much for taking the time. If you made it to the end, if you could drop a brown heart for me. I love the color brown, and that's the only reason why. If you could drop a brown heart for me, I really and truly appreciate it. Until next time, see ya. I don't even know. Oh.